Chosen one, there is a divine reason you were led here right now. You did not arrive by chance. Heaven orchestrated this exact moment to reach you. Somewhere between your prayers and your waiting, Archangel Michael was commanded to deliver a message that could only find you when your heart was ready. This is not a coincidence. It is a divine summons. You have felt the signs for days, the chill at night, the gentle pressure on your chest, the sudden thought of a loved one who has already crossed over. Those moments were not random. They were signals from the unseen. A soul from your own bloodline has been pleading for heaven's permission to speak. They have waited for this hour, and now permission has been granted. Archangel Michael says, a message is coming from the other side. Someone who once walked beside you has seen what is about to unfold in your life. They have been allowed to reach you not to frighten, but to awaken. They want you to know that you have been chosen to correct what they could not. A promise left unfulfilled is being handed to you as an inheritance. You are the bridge between what was lost and what must now be restored. Their energy surrounds you most when you dream near dawn, when your spirit is quiet enough to listen. In the next few nights, you may see a face, hear a word, or feel a warmth that cannot be explained. Heaven never confuses its signals. This is not just comfort, it is a calling. You stand between two worlds, one visible, one eternal, and heaven is asking you to listen. The reason this message appeared before you is that your time of awakening has begun. Soon, you will understand why every moment of silence and sorrow was preparing you for this divine revelation. If your spirit confirms these words, act on it now. Type 777 in faith as your covenant with heaven, a sign that you have heard, received, and accepted this call. Heaven moves when you move, and if your soul feels peace in these words, subscribe to this channel now. Stay connected, stay expectant, and let heaven continue to speak into your life. Your journey with divine purpose has only just begun. There are moments in life when the air feels different, when silence seems to breathe, when light flickers for no reason, when you sense something watching not in fear, but in quiet familiarity. Those moments are not illusions, they are thresholds. The veil between worlds is not a wall but a living breath, and tonight it has drawn near to you. The distance between heaven and earth has thinned, and your soul is standing at the center of that meeting place. For days, you have felt it, the unease that cannot be named, the weight that lingers behind your heart, the sudden calm that follows without warning. What you call coincidence is heaven's coordination. What you call memory is the whisper of eternity. The unseen world has been circling closer, not to harm, but to speak. Heaven does not send storms without purpose, nor silence without meaning. When the air stills around you and time slows, that is when the divine world leans closer. Through that veil, messages are carried not in sound, but in vibration. Every sense within you is awakening to frequencies you once ignored. The song that repeats in your mind, the scent that reminds you of someone long gone, the sudden lightness in your chest when you think of love. These are the languages of the unseen. They are not imagination, they are invitation. You stand between two realms, the visible and the eternal. One hand still in the world of form, the other reaching into the realm of spirit. You were chosen for this balance because your soul remembers what others have forgotten. That death is not disappearance, and silence is not absence. What separates you from those beyond is thinner than the breath between words. The archangels have long guarded this passage, but now it opens for you. Archangel Michael watches as heaven extends its hand across the veil, offering you understanding. The signs around you are not accidents. They are answers to prayers you didn't know you were praying. Listen carefully. What you are about to receive has traveled through light and shadow, across dimensions of time, carried by love older than the stars themselves. The veil is not closing, it is calling. And you, chosen one, have just been invited to see what lies beyond it, beyond the veil, where light bends into eternity. A voice has been calling your name. It is not a stranger's voice, nor a ghost's echo. It belongs to someone whose blood once flowed in your veins, whose laughter once filled the same air you breathe. This soul has watched from the realm of light, patient and devoted, waiting for heaven's permission to speak. And now, through the Archangel's command, that permission has been granted. For days, you have felt their nearness in subtle ways, the way a sudden memory flickered through your mind, the warmth that brushed your shoulder when you thought you were alone, the dream that felt too real to dismiss. These were not random sensations. They were messages written in energy. The world of spirit speaks differently. It does not shout, it hums. It moves through scent, through music, through the quiet language of familiarity. Every time you felt that invisible pull toward a memory, that was them whispering, "I am still here." This ancestral soul has not returned to haunt but to heal. There was something left unfinished, something that time could not erase, a promise, a word unsaid, a task incomplete. They have crossed back through the boundaries of light because heaven has allowed them to finish what they began through you. You are not chosen by accident. You are chosen by blood, by legacy, by love that refuses to fade. They have seen the tears you hid from the world, the silence you wore like armor, the moments when you held yourself together just to survive. Every time you thought no one saw you, heaven did. Every time you thought your prayers were unanswered, they were being carried through this very soul who loved you first. They speak now not in sound but in feeling, and this is what they say. You were never forgotten. You were never left behind. I have walked beside you through every shadow and every dawn. The pain that once bound us has not separated us. It has transformed into light that follows you. They want you to know that death did not erase the bond. It refined it. Their essence has become a guardian around you, their presence the unseen guidance in every decision that saved you from harm. The instinct that told you to wait, the sudden urge to change direction, the quiet warning before danger, all of that was love, wearing the form of intuition. This voice carries gratitude as much as revelation. They thank you for keeping their memory alive through kindness, through forgiveness, through the small good things you do when no one is watching. Every time you offered comfort, every time you chose love instead of bitterness, you mended something broken in their story. You have been healing generations without realizing it. The tears you once shed became threads of light, weaving your souls together again. Heaven does not waste such devotion. Archangel Michael stands witness to this reunion, his wings encircling the space between your world and theirs. The ancestral voice is steady now, stronger, clearer, filled with light. It says, "The time for silence is over. What I could not say in life, I now speak through spirit. You carry my strength, my lessons, my unfinished prayers. Walk with them, complete them, and let our story find peace. You are the bridge between what was and what shall be." Their message is not one of mourning, but of mission. You have been chosen to restore what was lost, to speak what was left unspoken, to redeem what time could not finish. This is not a burden, it is an inheritance. Through you, their light continues. Through you, their love endures. Through you, heaven is made visible once again. Every soul leaves behind something incomplete, a word unsaid, a duty unmet, a truth too heavy to speak before the final breath. The spirit that has reached you now carries such a weight, and heaven, in its mercy, has chosen you to fulfill what they could not. This is not a coincidence. It is divine succession. It is the moment when purpose passes from one soul to another, unbroken across the boundaries of time. You are not being burdened. You are being entrusted. Their promise has become your calling. Before their final dawn, they saw a glimpse of what was meant to be a healing, a reconciliation, a light that should have been shared but wasn't. The regret of leaving it undone tied their spirit to this world, not in torment, but in devotion. That devotion has guided them here, to you, so the circle may finally close. They whisper, "What I could not mend, you will restore. What I could not voice, you will speak. What I could not finish, you will carry to completion." Their longing has now transformed into your destiny. You have felt this pull for years without understanding it, the strange sense that you are meant for something larger, the moments of déjà vu that felt like echoes of someone else's memory, the weight of compassion that makes you feel pain that isn't entirely your own. That is the inheritance of promise. When a soul loves deeply enough, their unfinished prayers attach themselves to the hearts that can complete them. Heaven knows your heart is that vessel. You were chosen because of your endurance, your mercy, and your quiet strength. What others call coincidence is divine recognition. You were not born to repeat their mistakes, but to redeem them. The Archangel stands near as this truth unfolds, his light forming a bridge of golden fire between generations. You are the bridge, his voice declares through the current of spirit. You are the continuation. You are the answer to a prayer once whispered through tears. Those who walked before you built the foundation, but you are the one who must raise the structure of peace. This is why your trials have been so sharp, and your loneliness so deep. It was heaven's way of refining you to carry something eternal. Understand this. Legacy is not about inheritance of wealth or name. It is about the continuation of divine purpose through love. What they left undone was not failure, it was prophecy waiting for fulfillment through you. You have been entrusted with a sacred task, to bring light where there was silence, to heal what history could not, to speak truth in the places fear once ruled. This is not a burden to fear, but a torch to lift. The one who left you has not vanished. They now walk beside you as a guide, ensuring that their unfulfilled promise becomes your greatest miracle. And when your time comes to cross the veil, another will continue through you. Such is the rhythm of heaven. Promise, purpose, fulfillment. It is not a chance. It is not emotion. It is a divine order. Every heart carries weight, and yours has carried it longer than heaven ever intended. You have held on to sorrow as if it were a duty, replaying moments you could not change, blaming yourself for not saying enough, not doing enough, not being enough. Yet heaven has seen every silent night you endured, every tear that fell in secret, and declares now, it was enough. What you offered in love has already been accepted in grace. You are not bound by guilt, only by memory, and even that is ready to be set free. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is divine alignment. The soul that reached across the veil does not want your remorse, only your release. They have seen your pain. They watched the nights you couldn't sleep, when regret turned into prayer and prayer turned into silence. They whisper now, "You did what you could. You loved me with all you had. You were never the reason for my leaving. The heaviness that sits in your chest does not belong to you anymore. It is the residue of love misunderstood as guilt. Heaven says, it ends here. You are not being asked to forget, you are being asked to forgive, especially yourself. Each time you revisit the past in pain, you chain the spirit that only seeks to bless you. But each time you release it, heaven opens a new door. The Archangel stands beside you now, wings wide, light steady, voice firm as truth itself. Let go, the presence says. Let go, because what was meant to be has already been redeemed. The lessons were learned, the story is written, nothing was wasted. The ache you feel when you remember them is not punishment, it is connection. It is proof that love outlives breath. The one who left has already forgiven everything you cannot name. They have been whispering to heaven, not in sorrow, but in gratitude for you, for your endurance, for your faith even when you doubted. Every tear became a prayer, every moment of pain a passage toward peace. This is the moment of release. Breathe. The universe itself inhales with you. You are not carrying their burden anymore. You are carrying their blessing, that quiet instinct that stopped you before danger, the sudden calm in chaos, the pull to pause when everything rushed forward. Those were them, guiding you. You are not haunted. You are protected. The past has done its work. What remains is grace. Heaven does not wish for you to carry suffering, but to walk lighter, freer, radiant in peace. The Archangel's light surrounds you now, dissolving the chains made of memory and guilt. Forgive yourself, he whispers once more, for heaven already has. And as those words settle into your spirit, the weight begins to fade. What once hurt now heals. What once broke you now blesses you. You are not the wound anymore. You are the proof that love transforms all things. When the soul finally releases what it was never meant to carry, heaven begins to move. What once felt like stillness is not silence, it is rearrangement. The invisible world is never idle. While you mourned, angels gathered. While you questioned, heaven planned. Every delay, every detour, every unanswered prayer has been a thread in the fabric of divine precision. And now that fabric is being woven around your name. The unseen has started to shift, not against you but for you, realigning everything that had fallen out of place. You may not see it, but the rearrangement has already begun. People are being positioned, opportunities are being prepared, and obstacles are quietly dissolving. There is no randomness in the orchestration of heaven. What seems like a coincidence is choreography. What appears as loss is redirection. The moments that frustrated you were the very moments heaven used to turn you toward the path meant for you. You did not miss what was yours. It was being preserved until you were strong enough to receive it. Archangel Michael's voice moves through the still air, calm yet commanding. Trust the unseen. The invisible hands of heaven are never late. They are arranging your restoration. Even now, your environment is adjusting to the frequency of grace. You may notice subtle changes. Peace where there was anxiety, lightness where there was confusion, quiet signs appearing when you least expect them, a flicker in the corner of your eye, a familiar melody that finds you in a random place, a dream that feels more like a memory than imagination. These are confirmations, not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of divine order touching the edges of your life. Heaven is meticulous. It wastes nothing. Even the pain you thought broke you is being recycled into wisdom. Every unanswered prayer is being rewritten into a better version of a blessing. The spirit that once stood behind you in tears now stands beside you in triumph, watching as your path unfolds in perfect timing. When things begin to fall away, do not panic. When doors close, do not beg them to reopen. Some things must leave so that what is destined can arrive without interference. Heaven removes before it restores. You are walking through divine construction, and it may not always look beautiful at first. Chaos to the human eye is order to heaven. What seems like loss is often rearrangement in disguise. The angels are aligning your days with precision beyond understanding, ensuring that what enters your life next is worthy of your healed heart. So when you feel the shift, when time slows, when air feels charged, when peace suddenly replaces worry, know this: the rearrangement is complete. You are being moved from survival to purpose, from waiting to walking, from hope to fulfillment. Trust it. Heaven never confuses its signals. The unseen is not distant, it is already working in your favor. There comes a moment when pain ceases to be your enemy and becomes your teacher. The storms that once shattered you were never meant to destroy you, they were meant to shape you into something heaven could use. Every sleepless night, every loss, every unanswered prayer was not punishment but preparation. Pain was never cruelty, it was refinement. You were being carved by invisible hands so that light could fit where pride, fear, and doubt once lived. This is transformation, the divine alchemy of suffering turning into strength, of tears turning into truth. You are not being rebuilt, you are being revealed. Heaven does not send storms without purpose. Each trial came with instructions written in silence. What broke you was never meant to end you. It was meant to awaken you. When you lost what you thought you needed, it forced you to see what could never be taken away. When love slipped from your hands, it taught you that love is not possession but presence. When doors closed, it was to turn you toward the one that only your healed self could walk through. The very things you begged heaven to remove were the very things that were removing your illusions. And now, on the other side of it all, you are not weaker, you are refined gold. The Archangel's light surrounds you again, steady and warm, speaking without words. Do you see it now? What you called failure was formation. What you called a delay was protection. What you called loss was alignment. Each moment of breaking carried a hidden instruction. Each wound was a seed planted in darkness so that wisdom could take root. The pain did not come to curse you. It came to consecrate you. Heaven trusted you with pain because heaven knew you would turn it into light. The angels do not weep for you anymore, they marvel. For you have done what few souls dare to do. Transform grief into grace. You have walked through shadows and kept your light. You have stood in silence and still prayed. You have fallen but risen again, and each rise rewrote the meaning of your story. Heaven does not measure worth by perfection but by persistence. You persisted. You endured when others gave up. You believed when everything told you not to. That endurance became your anointing. Every scar you carry now glows with purpose. Every broken piece has turned into a window for light to enter. What once silenced you has become your song. What once weakened you has become your weapon. Understand this truth. Heaven never wastes a survivor. You were not meant to return to who you were before the storm. You were meant to become something that could not have existed without it. The spirit that guided you through pain is now guiding others through your story. You are no longer the victim of your wounds, you are the voice that teaches others how to heal. This is the moment when sorrow completes its work and hands you over to destiny. The darkness that once frightened you now bows before your light. Archangel Michael watches as your energy shifts into power. Rise. The whisper moves through the air, for you are the miracle they prayed for. The one who left this world is no longer grieving, they are rejoicing, because you have carried their unfinished love into completion. Pain has fulfilled its purpose. You have become what heaven always saw, the continuation of divine courage, the living proof that grace does not fail. And as the heavens look upon you now, they see not what was broken, but what has been reborn. You have turned pain into purpose, and through that transformation, you have become unstoppable. When the transformation is complete, heaven does not leave you empty. It crowns you. It fills the places where sorrow once lived with authority and peace. What you have survived was not simply meant to heal you, it was meant to anoint you. You are no longer the one seeking rescue. You are the one carrying light. The spirit that once wept beside you now walks within you, and the power that once seemed far away has become your own. This is inheritance, not of silver or name, but of divine power, wisdom, and peace. You are standing in the same light that guided your ancestors home. The Archangel's voice surrounds you, steady as the heartbeat of heaven itself. This is the moment of anointing. You have been tested in silence, purified in waiting, and chosen in love. What you endured did not disqualify you, it qualified you. Heaven has watched every step, every trembling act of faith, and now it releases what was always meant for you, spiritual authority. From this day, you do not walk as the wounded, you walk as the healer. You do not move as the lost, you move as the found. You are no longer defined by what broke you, but by what blessed you. The unseen has recognized your spirit and marked you with divine favor. This anointing is not loud. It does not come with thunder or spectacle. It comes with peace, a stillness so deep that even the air feels holy. You may feel warmth over your shoulders, a subtle calm behind your heart, a quiet certainty rising in your chest. That is heaven confirming what has already been written. You are covered, protected, and chosen. You carry within you the strength of those who came before, and the prayers of generations rest upon your name. Their love has become your armor, their wisdom your compass, their faith your foundation. Archangel Michael speaks once more through the current of light. You are not who you were. You are a vessel of continuation. You are protected by their faith, powered by their love, and propelled by divine order. Every step you take now will echo through eternity. You have been anointed not to escape the world, but to illuminate it. Where you walk, light will follow. Where you speak, hearts will remember truth. Where you love, heaven will multiply grace. The trials you faced have been converted into tools for others' healing. You have inherited the very essence of your ancestors' unfinished miracles. This is not farewell, it is succession. Heaven passes its torch through willing souls, and now it burns in your hands. Walk with it, guard it, shine with it. You are the living continuation of a promise made long before your birth. And as you carry this inheritance into the world, know this truth. Your existence is not accidental, it is an assignment. Heaven moves through you now, and nothing can undo what has been divinely sealed. Every journey designed by heaven carries a beginning, a breaking, and a becoming. And now, you have reached the final passage, the completion. The air around you feels different because it is. The movement in the unseen has quieted, not in absence but in fulfillment. The archangel's presence softens, no longer a warrior's flame but a guardian's calm light, for the battle within you has ended. What was once chaos has found its rhythm. What was once sorrow has turned into strength. Heaven's seal is being placed over your life, and with it comes the soundless decree: it is done. This completion is not an ending, it is a return to divine alignment. The one who once wept over you now smiles from realms of peace. Their task is complete. The bridge between your world and theirs stands whole, glowing with the light of love that conquered every distance. You have heard, you have believed, and because of that, heaven's will has been fulfilled through you. Every prayer that once trembled on their lips has now found its voice in your life. Every fragment that once drifted in grief has been gathered, healed, and restored. The cycle that began in pain now closes in praise. Archangel Michael stands beside you, watching as divine order seals its work. His voice flows through your soul like steady fire. The bridge is whole. The soul is at peace. The story is complete. You may feel it, the sudden quiet in your mind, the warmth resting near your heart, the strange clarity that replaces confusion. That is the moment of sealing. Heaven does not need thunder to make its mark. It writes with stillness. It confirms with peace. This calm is not emptiness. It is the signature of divine completion. Every lesson, every tear, every moment of endurance has built the foundation for this peace. You have crossed from surviving to sovereign, from seeking to knowing, from carrying the weight of the past to walking freely into purpose. The unseen world rejoices, For you have done what few souls accomplish. You listened, you stayed, you transformed. The Archangel whispers once more, "Rest now, for heaven has written your name into light. You are covered by grace and surrounded by angels who recognize your courage. In this completion, you are not the same as when you began. You are softer but stronger, humbled but radiant. You have learned the greatest truth of all, that love never ends. It evolves, expands, and becomes the very breath of creation. What once was pain has become peace. What was once a burden has become a blessing. Heaven's seal rests upon you now, invisible but eternal, marking your life with protection and divine favor. When you rise tomorrow, do so with calm certainty. The story that once hurt you has now turned into your crown. The circle is whole, the spirit is free, and heaven whispers your final benediction. It is finished, and it is good. Close your eyes. Let the world grow quiet around you. The journey has been long, but the light has never left. The breath you take now is not just your own. It carries the rhythm of those who came before, those whose love still moves through you. This is the moment heaven has been leading you toward, the moment of sealing, of final peace, of sacred rest. You are no longer searching. You have arrived. Beloved soul, let this prayer rise within you as a whisper between your heart and the eternal. Heavenly Father, Creator of all that is seen and unseen, we thank you for the mercy that guided this listener here. Thank you for the strength that carried them through pain, for the tears that watered their growth, for the unseen protection that never failed. Thank you for Archangel Michael, the guardian of truth and courage, who has stood beside them in every shadow, turning fear into faith and sorrow into song. We lift our hearts now in gratitude for the Spirit who crossed the veil to deliver love once more, for their message of redemption, for their release, for the circle that has been made whole. Father, let your light remain upon this soul. May they walk with peace where they once walked with pain. May every corner of their life now shine with quiet assurance. Let no shadow return to dwell where grace has entered. Let their dreams be filled with clarity, their days with purpose, and their nights with rest. Where there was confusion, give direction. Where there was fear, place divine courage. Where there was longing, let fulfillment arrive. Surround them with angels who guard their steps and whisper reminders of your promise when the world grows heavy again. Archangel Michael, seal this soul in light. Wrap them in armor not of iron but of faith. Let no darkness approach the gates of their heart. Let their voice carry calm to others, their presence awaken hope, and their actions become prayers in motion. May every word they speak bear the signature of heaven's peace. May they move through this world as proof that love survives all endings. The bond between heaven and earth is not broken, it has been sanctified. Through this life, through this moment, through every breath to come, let them remember that they are not walking alone. The unseen stands guard. The divine moves ahead. The ancestors watch in quiet joy, knowing their legacy is safe within this soul. If your heart bears witness to these words, whisper, "I receive." Let it echo not from your lips, but from the center of your being. This is not repetition. It is recognition. You are the continuation of light. You are the prayer fulfilled. You are the living temple of all that heaven has healed. From this day forward, walk gently, but confidently. The storms have bowed before you. The veil has lifted. The bridge stands eternal. What you carry now is sacred and indestructible. And so we seal this moment in divine perfection. We mark it with the covenant of grace and the number of completion, 777. This is your confirmation that heaven has heard, heaven has answered, heaven has finished its work within you. Every step you take now moves in alignment with divine will. Every sunrise will greet you as a friend. Every silence will speak peace. Heaven has written your name into light, and that light will never fade. Go now, beloved soul. Walk in love, stand in truth, and rest in the promise that can never be broken. The message is complete, the heart is whole, the spirit is free, and the seal of heaven rests upon you forever. Amen.